All right. This is video game adjacent. So the idea behind this was me and Chris and Seth usually take road trips or have lunch and talk about things of the week. And in this past week, I noticed the video game award announcements and I had questions. And I realized, hey, wait, instead of asking these questions at lunch or in the car, we would just do it on the stream. So, did you guys actually watch it yet?
Oh, I intentionally held off.
I mean, you surely figured out some of the things from just osmosis on X and stuff.
Not much. I
really?
know
Cool.
I've got guesses because I'm sure I know, like, my guess is Astrobot cleaned up, but
Yeah.
I really, other than that, I intentionally kind of avoided it.
I saw a screenshot of like the 6 games or whatever that are like game of the year, but that's all I've seen. I don't know anything else.
So what I figured I would do is I would play the announcement video. It's only like 10 minutes. I'll pause it anytime you want to pause it. I'll pause it at least when I have a question or at the end of like an announcement of a certain thing, because I probably have a question, or I'd be curious to see for your guys's for the record who you think's going to take it, since we'll have the recording of it here. So that.
Oh, we need to document this too, and then have another episode after the show.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
I'll swings and a misses type of thing.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, we'll definitely. Yeah, I'll run this through the AI transcriber, and it will tell us everything you said. So with that said, does that make sense? Just pause at any time. We'll play it, make comments, laugh, have fun. Here we go. Hopefully.
And the Game Award, and the Game Award goes to.
Sound okay?
Yeah.
And the Game Award goes to.
It's fine.
Pretty loud.
And the winner is.
Is that better?
Yeah, it was earlier. It was like
10 years ago, we began a journey together to celebrate video games as the biggest, most powerful form of entertainment in the world. And on Thursday, December 12th, right here at Peacock Theater in Los Angeles, we will recognize the best and show you what's next with the 10th anniversary of the Game Awards. Hey everybody, I'm Jeff Keighley, and welcome to the TGA Global Nomination Announcement Special. Today, it is my distinct honor to reveal this year's nominees, recognizing talented game developers from studios big and small around the world. And you can help select the winners by voting right now at thegameawards.com. All right, you've waited long enough, so let's do it. Here are the nominees for the Game Awards 2024.
I'm pausing.
For Best Ongoing Game, the nominees.
Whoa, that's a terrible pause.
Well, I clicked it and it didn't.
Just hit spacebar next time.
are.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is why
Just
we're
make it
doing
full
this?
screen and hit spacebar.
What do you know about Jeff Keighley?
What you guys told me when we used to go over to Chris's house and watch it, which we probably should do this year.
You know the phrase Doritos Pope?
No.
I think that
video game
before we go any
adjacent.
further, you need to Google image Doritos Pope.
Okay.
Or I guess I can.
He kind of owns it, right? I mean, the whole like he just put his flag on this whole video game award thing.
Yep.
Because was he like a video game reporter?
Yeah, he started as a young Canadian reporter. He is pretty good at. He's a really good producer. He has a lot of good connections in the video game industry, and he sucks. Let's say sucks up to several people. That
okay.
Exclusives.
That's not what I thought you were going to say, but okay.
I know. I pivoted. He's in really well with Hideo Kojima, and he was in really good with Reggie at Nintendo.
Okay.
Because the guy doesn't give a bad review. He's like Leo Laporte. He'll always say whatever needs to be said, so he gets to go to the next thing, type of thing. So he's
and then he made his own
he
thing.
was one of his big. He just tied a bow around that game, No Man's Sky, that came out just as broken and lied about as could be. After about 4 years, that game has gotten to where it probably should have been when it launched. Yeah. But that game was a piece of crap when it launched, and he just kept promoting it. So he is the ultimate sellout.
Okay.
Well, that's the Doritos Pope tie-in, is
Oh,
because
yeah, I was looking for that image.
everything is like super sponsored. When you watch the Video Game Awards, there's almost 50% sponsorship airtime, and yeah, he pushes all the brands and everything. Like he's obviously very savvy when it comes to business. My issue with Jeff Keighley isn't so much even his like love of promoting things regardless of its quality. I think generally he promotes things that are okay, but I will say that his biggest flaw to me is that he's a questionable host.
Oh,
Yeah. He's very, it's funny, he's gotten a little better these last couple of years, but like in years past, his hosting style is awkward at best, and sometimes like they'll cut to him and he'll just be like this.
he's got RBF.
Yes.
If they catch him and they haven't given him an adequate countdown, he's got the personality of a stick, and he's got this fake persona that he like flips a switch on when he thinks a camera's on. He's just tedious as hell.
Yeah, and he does weird things too, like that. Like the way he sets up his stage, he has this grand stage, and then he'll never stand on it half the time. It's so weird. He like keeps cutting to himself at the back of the auditorium, and all the people that are there are like turning their heads around trying to see where he's at. You know,
he built a platform in the audience over the top of about 12 seats, and then just stands in that.
Yeah, it's weird.
Okay,
he's an interesting guy. All right, that is cool.
But he makes this show, which is actually cool that he does this show.
The show gets better probably every year.
Yeah.
Destiny 2, Diablo 4, the Game Awards 2024.
Okay.
For Best Ongoing Game, the nominees are Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy XIV, Fortnite, and Helldivers 2. Your Best Performance nominees.
Whoa, this is going fast.
Yeah, okay, this is surprising.
Yeah.
Oh, this is another thing about the Game Awards too. The Game Awards, like 50% of the awards will be given out like shotgun style.
It starts.
Yeah, before even the stream begins, and then whatever. Anyway, so of those, Seth, do you have a prediction on those?
I'd say Helldivers 2. I got a lot of attention this year. A lot of people. It's co-op. It's basically Helldivers 2 is like Starship Troopers. It's go in, blow up a bunch of space bugs, but it's co-op, and kind of the game evolves. I think that's the new hotness.
Is Fortnite also contending?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm picking.
It's every year.
Okay, I'm gonna go with that just because I think that's the most popular. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brianna White for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Hannah Tell for Life is Strange Double Exposure. Umberly Gonzalez for Star Wars Outlaws. Luke Roberts, Silent Hill 2. And Melina Jurgens, Senua Saga, Hellblade 2. For the
I would go with the last one. Is probably going to be a winner.
I'm going to say it's going to be a chick.
I would say it's going to be either Final Fantasy VII or I guess I'll have to pick one. I'd say it's either going to be Final Fantasy VII or Star Wars Outlaws, because then he could get somebody to show up on stage and talk about the game, because the show is pretty bought and paid for. A lot of times I think that a big developer will just make sure that their game wins.
I don't subscribe to this conspiracy, but that's interesting. I don't think that the awards are paid for. I don't. I think that there are teams of people who decide it, and then those people have biases. But I don't think Jeff Keighley gets paid for winners. I don't think that happens.
Well, he doesn't get to pick them, though, right?
That's what Seth's saying.
Oh no,
I'm saying that people do vote, and I'm also saying that developers can all of a sudden win.
So my question about this category is, I mean, it's cool that they're recognizing people that are doing performances in video games. Very, very, very cool, right? But as a video game player, do you care? I mean, won't you most likely pick somebody because you like the game and they happen to do a good performance in it versus a different game that you don't like, but they did a...
You mean when we vote?
Well, just like
because we're only a fraction of the vote. There's like a council of journalists that Jeff picks that are that carry the weight of the vote. We're like 20%, and then the council's like
no,
a
I'm
certain.
talking about you guys personally, like on this particular category. Is there like, do you?
No, I mean, I don't buy a game because of voice actors in it.
Yeah.
But if a voice actor does a good job in that game, I appreciate it.
But somebody could be excellent in a different game, and you don't like the game, but they probably did maybe did a better performance, right?
Totally, it's like the Oscars.
So then
someone could be really awesome in a terrible movie.
So do you think the people that vote on this outside of the public, they have to play all the games that are in the category to be able to vote?
I would hope so.
Yeah, even the Oscars don't do that.
Yeah,
whose
they do.
vote is worth?
Well, no. I've seen people that talk about people who are on committees to vote on Oscars, and some of them, like particularly the ones I've read the stories about, particularly have to do with the animated feature film category.
Yeah.
These people who vote, they'll be like, my son watched that one movie. That's the one I'm voting for. Like, they don't even give a crap.
Well, wait, so how's my thing a conspiracy, but your thing is?
Well, because you're the one saying that. I'm hearing this from like other people. That's why.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I just thought that was
I mean, I don't know, but to answer your question, Craig, like, I think this category has to do with like just celebrating someone's good performance.
Oh, I totally agree. But I think like if you didn't win, it doesn't mean you didn't do an amazing performance. And I guess that's the same for movies and stuff. But like, it seems like anyway. I guess it is like movies, right? If the movie sucks, but you do a good performance, they're gonna lose.
There are great video games, Craig, that I never play, that I know are great games.
And you know the performances are great.
Well, I don't know about the performance. I'm talking specifically just like the quality of the game.
Yeah.
I know that there are games that the performances are great that I don't play.
Gotcha. All right. Best mobile game.
The best mobile game, the nominees are AFK Journey, Balatro, Pokemon Trading Card Game Pocket, Wuthering Waves, and Zenless Zone Zero.
Heard that name.
Yeah, so
let's
Pokemon
go.
Was the only one
I'd say
heard
Pokemon's going to win that.
I'm going to go with Zenless Zone Zero just because I recognize that one, and I've heard of it before, but I don't play mobile games.
Greg, are you going to predict too?
I did. Pokemon.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's a safe bet.
And on the previous one, I said a chick's going to win because I don't know.
They were, well, it wasn't those.
I think at least 4 of them were.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's not a prediction.
That's the best I could do. I have no idea of their performance. I'd literally be guessing on their picture, right? And that would probably get me.
Craig's going to be guessing on all these, I think.
I am guessing, except for that one. I mean, I could have the last one that was blonde. I don't know.
The nominees for Best Art Direction are Astrobot, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree, Metaphor ReFantazio, and Neva.
No Chris's pick.
Yeah, it's Metaphor.
Really?
I'm going to go with Black Myth Wukong.
Oh, good, because I'm going to say Astrobot's going to clean up.
Astrobot will clean up, but I don't know if art direction is going to be one. I mean, this game has had the same style for 3 years.
Right. It's not that's probably going to hurt it, but yeah.
Explain that to me. I don't understand what you mean by 3 years.
Art direction. This is not the first Astrobot game.
Yeah. This game looks great, but the assets have been reused.
Art direction is generally striking visuals. And if you're seeing the same game you've seen for 3 years,
okay.
I think Wukong and Fantasio, I think, are probably the biggest contenders for me. But I think Black Myth Wukong was that one that when they showed it a couple years ago, people were like, "How could this even run on a video game system?"
Yeah. It's got a cool style. I just think it's more technically impressive. I don't think I like the style as much, but yeah, that game looks photoreal. It's crazy.
For Best Score in Music, this year's nominees are Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Metaphor
These are hard
ReFantazio,
hitters.
Silent Hill 2, and Stellar Blade.
I don't know.
Astrobot.
I'm going to go Final Fantasy VII.
I am teetering between Astrobot or Metaphor because Astrobot's songs are really, really good. But I don't know. I'll go with Metaphor again.
In the category of Best Audio Design, these games are nominated: Astrobot, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2.
So I didn't understand the category. I made assumptions. Is this like sound effects and stuff? Like the guns sound good and shit? Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going to go with Call of Duty on this one.
Okay. I'm going Astrobot. Chris?
Yeah, Astrobot.
I think it's easy.
Best Adaptation recognizes excellence in authentically creating shows.
Did you know about this category before? This is new? It's not new?
I don't know.
Said.
He said Best Adaptation.
Oh, okay. I forgot I already watched this. Hang on.
Hill 2. Best Adaptation recognizes excellence in authentically creating shows, movies, and other creative endeavors based on video game worlds. Here are this year's nominees.
So is this
I
new?
mean, it's recent, but I don't know if this is the first year it's been done.
Okay.
It might be.
I
I'm
think
not
it's
sure.
a great idea.
This will be stuff like
Fallout.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
For Best Adaptation: Arcane, Fallout, Knuckles, Like a Dragon Yakuza, and Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft.
Fallout.
Fallout.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Fallout.
That's an easy one.
For Best Narrative in a Game, the TGA nominees are Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Metaphor ReFantasio, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2.
Man, the same 5 games for every category.
Yeah. Now, none of us have played Silent Hill 2, right?
Not the remake. I played the original.
Oh, okay. So you do know what the story is in that one, though. Okay. I've never played that game.
5. It was Silent Hill, Senua, Metaphor. What were the other 2?
Oh, let's back it up.
Yakuza.
Yakuza, which just seems like a weird one.
The TGA nominees are Final Fantasy VII Rebirth,
Oh,
Like
yeah,
a
Final
Dragon
Fantasy.
Infinite Wealth,
That's
Metaphor
a pretty good one.
ReFantasio,
I'll go Final Fantasy.
Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, and Silent Hill 2.
You said Final Fantasy. Me too.
I don't think it's gonna win, but I'll say Metaphor again. I really enjoy the story of Metaphor.
That's what I thought you said.
For Impact celebrates thought-provoking games with a
I can't see the video.
profound pro-social meaning or
shit, my
message. Here are this year's nominees: Closer the Distance, Indica, Neva, Life is Strange Double Exposure, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, and Tales of Kenzera, Zao.
Tales of I would go with Life is Strange. This is the activist game category.
Mhm.
And Life is
Yeah.
Strange has been in on those.
Yeah, that's a good series from what I've heard. I'm gonna go with the Senua Sacrifice game because I've heard things about its story, and I think that's a contender.
That was in the list?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about like mental anguish.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. You remember that. Okay. Yep. Craig, you got a thought on that one?
No. Whatever you
And
said.
I don't know any of those other games at all.
Yeah.
I know Neva, but I don't know why. I don't know what its hook is, but I've heard that a lot. That's big in the indie scene.
Okay.
I'll do Neva.
Okay.
Here we go.
The nominees for Best Community
video.
Support are
Bad director must get practice.
Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky.
What's community support? What does
I
that
don't know.
I
Does
don't
that
think
mean
he said.
odds and stuff, or does that mean?
Does that mean like people who create content for it?
Are Tales of Kenzera, Zao. The nominees for Best Community Support are
Yeah, he doesn't explain.
I'm
I'm looking it up. Yeah, what does that mean? Doesn't really say.
Does it mean like the biggest fan base? Like the
That's
most
what we're-
Discord servers related to the game? The
Yes,
biggest Reddit community?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't find any.
Then I pick Fortnite.
I found an article that might blah 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 enough to explain it.
So I guess this is a new one, or are we just watching this before we?
No, just
this
when
is-
Chris and I watch this one, we just tune this out.
Yeah, this is one I've heard of, but I don't
Here we
know.
Emphasizes the importance of this award, which celebrates the efforts of developers and publishers to maintain an open, constructive dialogue with their community. Okay, so this is rewarding developers who support their community.
Yeah, like they have like, yes, I get it. Yeah. What were the nominations again?
Let's go back.
Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky.
Baldur's Gate 3.
I'm gonna say No Man's Sky.
Yeah, I'm gonna change to No Man's Sky. I just picked Fortnite because I knew it, but I think No Man's Sky. I hear good things about that game. All right, best multiplayer.
In the category of Best Multiplayer, the nominees are Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Super Mario Party Jamboree,
Get out of here.
Tekken 8, and Warhammer 40,000 Space.
Helldivers 2.
Call of Duty, right? All day.
Oh.
I'm gonna. God, I don't. What Seth? Help me understand why Helldivers 2.
It was a really, really big thing for a while. I mean, it hit, and it was like, it's a game that you buy and you don't have to keep DLCing. It's not a microtransaction death by 1,000 paper cut thing. It was like a full game. There's updates to it. There was in the space that I work in, though I don't care about Helldivers 2, a lot of people that didn't even necessarily play a lot of games were like, hey, we playing Helldivers tonight.
Okay.
Like, we have at work in a Discord, there's a thread about there's a Helldivers thread. There's like, who's playing tonight?
That's good enough for me. I'm gonna go with that too. I don't play multiplayer games, and Craig, you're probably not wrong to pick Call of Duty, but
Call of Duty made the most money, I guarantee it.
yeah,
It had
and
the most
I mean,
players.
I continue to be surprised by how popular that series continues to be. It's just like a never-ending thing.
Well, they're
Right.
fun.
Here we go.
Marine 2. Best Independent Game celebrates games with a high degree of risk tolerance, as they are produced outside of the traditional publisher system.
Is this the one with all the controversy?
I don't know any controversy. I've been avoiding this. You're the only one that knows all this.
Well, I thought one of the categories had controversy around like what they were calling independent games because
Last
if you
year
look
there
at their
was.
books, they're not really independent.
Last year there was a big problem with this. It was like Dave the Diver, who had like,
That's
it
right.
was something like Ubisoft or so. There were some big ones behind last year's. This might be again this year. I don't know.
All right, let's see.
The nominees are Animal Well, Balatro, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes, Neva, and UFO 50.
Never.
That first one, Animal Well, I think that's the one that Video Game Donkey made. Maybe.
Well, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say Balatro, only because I know that game is also in for another award. So
No.
I'm gonna do Neva
Yeah, I think never.
with absolutely no experience with any of these games.
Same here.
yeah, same.
Next is Best Debut Indie Game, which recognizes a development team that hasn't won a Game Award before. In fact, these teams published their first game in 2024. The nominees are
Best
Animal
rookie.
Well, Balatro, Manor Lords, Pacific Drive, and The Plucky Squire.
Oh, Plucky Squire.
Lucky Squire.
Balatro.
I guess none of us have played it.
For Best VR AR Game, the nominees
Plucky
are
Squire.
Oh, really?
Arizona
Okay.
Sunshine Remake, Asgard's Wrath 2, Batman Arkham Shadow, Metal Hellsinger VR, and Metro Awakening.
Okay, so I've heard really good things about that Metro game, and I've heard really good things about the Batman game, and the Arizona Sunshine remake. Seth, we haven't played that, but you know what it is.
I do.
So that's tough.
I'm going Arizona Sunshine.
That's what I'm
which
doing.
is stupid because it's a remake, and that probably is going to be a problem for it. But I did not like what I saw of the Batman gameplay. Metro could be very. I'll just to mix it up. I'll go Metro.
I'm gonna go Metro because I think I've heard nothing but good things about that.
Nice.
Like where people are like, "This is on Quest," that kind of stuff.
I mean, cynical me is going to say it's going to be Batman because that's the one that Facebook packs in.
Gotcha. All right.
For Content Creator of the Year, the nominees are Queso, Ilawan, Techno Gamers, Typical Gamer, and Usada Pecora.
What? Who cares?
Pass.
Yeah.
I'll pick but that's an easy one. It's the VTuber girl.
Yeah,
Or
the
it.
Hololive. That's who
Then
she's.
I'll go with the clown, the red and
Which
purple
one was
dude.
the clown?
I know. I need to be more specific. The guy with like the Drew Carey glasses and the.
For what it's worth, the
Yeah.
reason I'm voting for Usada Pecora is because I believe, I'm pretty sure that last year she was the #1 female streamer on YouTube.
Yeah.
A VTuber was.
Yeah, they're going to
So.
signal that VTuber is the future.
Part of the Game Awards is looking forward to what's next. And yes, we'll have lots of games to announce on December 12th. But what's the most anticipated upcoming game? Here are the nominees based on currently announced titles.
This is such a weird category.
This is
If you don't think this one's bought and paid for, you're silly.
right. I mean, what do you feel like if you win this one? Like, oh, we spent the most on
You just
money
feel like
advertising.
everybody likes my thing.
I'm the prettiest.
Death Stranding 2 on the Beach. Ghost of Yote. Grand Theft Auto 6.
Oh, come on.
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. And Monster Hunter Wilds.
Yeah, when I saw this, I was like, well, that's an easy one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
GTA. I mean, come on.
GTA, come on. Get out of here.
Like a main commercial, the whole thing.
The best action adventure nominees are Astrobot, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws, and The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom.
Okay, I'm going with Astrobot.
Yeah,
Me
that
too.
Astrobot's good. Definitely. If that's the category, it should win.
That's an easy one.
For best role playing, the jury selected Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring: Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth, and Metaphor ReFantazio. In the category
This is a weird one. I know where Chris is going.
Yeah.
The Shadow of the Erdtree, isn't that just DLC for Elden Ring?
Yeah, well, there's something about that. I've heard a lot about that. I don't know what it is either. Shadow of the what?
Erdtree, ERD.
Oh, yeah, it's called DLC. So a DLC is going up against full-blown
Oh!
games?
Controversial rule change means that the Game Awards will now let DLCs, whoops, where'd it go? DLCs, remakes, and remasters let them be chosen. Okay, so that's why we're seeing like Silent Hill 2, Shadow. So a DLC for Elden Ring is up against Zelda and Metaphor. And
Nah,
Why
what
would
are the
they do
5
that?
again?
You want to play it again?
Please.
yeah. I'm going to start writing these down.
Well, they're the website. Yeah, we should probably.
best role playing, the jury selected Dragon's Dogma 2, Elden Ring: Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth, and Metaphor ReFantazio.
Rebirth.
That's a good call. I would bet on that. I'm not going to though. I'm going with Metaphor.
So are you picking Metaphor because you want it to win or because you think it'll win? Are we picking favorites or predictions?
I would say I'm picking what I think will win. But
Okay.
in this
You think
particular
Metaphor will
category,
win?
yeah, for this category, I mean, look, I'm not going to sit here and say that Final Fantasy Rebirth isn't amazing because it is. I've watched you play it and it's pretty amazing. But I think Metaphor is my favorite JRPG I may have ever played. So I'm going with that.
All right. I'm FF7.
I'm Final Fantasy 7 too. Do you think they changed the rules because they needed more people in the cap? Why did they change to added like DLC and stuff?
Let me
wonder what the
control F
thinking
in this
was.
article for the word.
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, like, I think maybe there's backlash if they make a DLC category, maybe.
Well, no, well, yeah, that's what it has to be, right? Because I'm saying like it's probably fair that you would get recognized for making badass DLC, right?
Oh, I got a spoiler when looking this up.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
I know now one of the GOTY, not a plot spoiler. I now know one of the GOTY's nominations.
Oh, okay, yeah, that happens.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I was going to say was that I think it could. I mean, if I'm going to be like non-pessimistic, I would say that like DLC is kind of like a weird business model in and of itself, and so it's hard to categorize it as not being a separate game when it adds so much, something like that. I don't know.
Okay, a tweet from the VGAs. It just disappeared off my screen. What is this Gfinity website? Are DLCs, expansion packs, and remakes eligible? The Game Awards aims to recognize the best creative and technical work each year, irrespective of the format of the content's release. Expansion packs, new game seasons, DLCs, remakes, and remasters are all now eligible in all categories if the jury deems the new creative and technical work worthy. Factors like newness of the content and its price and value should be taken into consideration.
Yeah, like remakes and remasters to me are fine. Like a remake especially, because like Final Fantasy VII Remake is like, it's the same game, but like it's so much more.
DLC is a funny one though.
Yeah, I agree.
A DLC to a game of the year could potentially automatically be the game of the year.
Yeah,
I
thought
this
was
weird.
An interesting one. Yeah.
Okay. Oh wait, so we didn't pick. Oh yeah, we did. That was the RPG category.
Yep.
In the category of Best Fighting, the nominees are Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics, Multiversus, and Tekken 8.
Okay. I'm going Tekken because that's the only one I know.
Then which one did you pick?
Tekken.
I'm gonna pick Cynical Multiverses.
Really? I think Multiverses is a goofball thing.
It is.
Okay. What were the first two? Gosh darn it. I should have wrote it down.
For your Best Fighting, the nominees are Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection.
Wait, stop. What is this?
It's a collection. It's just like a whole bunch of Marvel vs. Capcom historical games.
Okay, I have no idea in this category. I'm going to say Grand Blue Fantasy, just because.
Arcade Classics, Multiversus, and Tekken 8. The nominees.
The game with like Scooby-Doo versus Dexter from.
It's a licensing bonanza. It's like Fortnite, but a fighting game. Everything goes in there. Rick and Morty are in it. There's just WB is just throwing everything at it.
You might have something there.
Action are Black Myth Wukong, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, and Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2.
What?
Wukong.
Yeah, I'm going to go Wukong on this. That seems like an easy one.
I'm going with that submarine last game, whatever that was.
Submarine?
What was it?
Space
Stellar
Marine?
Blade and Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2.
Just because of 40,000. Yep.
Submarine game.
Innovation in accessibility celebrates games that are making our industry available and enjoyable to more people. Selected by a special committee of accessibility experts, the nominees for innovation in accessibility are Call of Duty Black Ops 6, Diablo 4, Dragon Age The Veilguard, Prince of Persia The Lost Crown, and Star Wars Outlaws.
So Seth, you probably know.
Like colorblind mode and audio triggers for it's different the way allowing people to play video games with different impairments.
Now, Seth, have you seen the options available in Outlaws? You might have been able to see them.
Mm-mm.
No.
No, I haven't messed with it.
Yeah. I mean, there's really not a reason to unless you need it.
Ubisoft's done well in that department in the past, so I'm going to pick Star Wars, even though I do not have any knowledge.
Yeah. I watched a clip this past year, like probably within the last 6 months, of somebody playing a game like Outlaws, and it might have been Outlaw. I don't know. But it was fascinating to watch someone who was completely blind play a video game like that. And there's all kinds of like accessibility things to it that allows them to do it.
Completely blind?
I think so. Yes. I'd have to dig up my video history, but I saw the video pop up like recommended to me, and I watched it because I was so curious, like, how do they play? And it has all kinds of like accessibility things in there that make it possible. They play it at super slow speed. Like, I mean, like, they don't move around very quickly, but they can.
I mean, that'd be like Zork. It'd be like it'd be like a text. Well, I mean, like an audio. Here comes
there was
a guy.
There was a lot of like 3D audio that assisted them. It was really interesting. But anyway, I don't know either. I'm going to go with Outlaws 2 because what you said about Ubisoft.
So, Chris, which one did you say the blind person played?
I don't remember. I'd have to look at my video history. Again, it's been months ago.
Okay.
It was really neat, though. It was neat to watch them play it because I was like, how do they do it? And
well, this would be a cool category to like watch a bunch of breakdowns of each game. Like,
yeah, I was about to say, I was like, I wish they showed something from it to show off. Because I think in one of the previous video game awards, they did do that during the nomination part of the award. They showed the screenshots.
But yeah, this is a hard one to guess at without knowing all the work that was put in to make it accessible. All right.
Next up, Best Family Game. The nominees are Astrobot, Princess Peach Showtime, Super Mario Party Jamboree, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and The Plucky Squire.
Zelda. Nintendo hasn't won anything yet. And they're not going to give it to Princess Peach over Zelda.
I'm sticking with Astrobot. Astrobot 1000.
Yep, me too. Astrobot.
The
what
best
kind of game was that last one, Seth? The one you played?
Plucky Squire. It's really cool. You're
the
like
Echoes of
part
Wisdom
of
a
children's book that you can jump in and out of. Like you can jump out of it, and then it's like a 3D game, and bring something that you need to progress the story from the real world into the book again. It's got all kinds of different like little like mini game types of things. It's a very, very interesting game.
Cool. All right.
Plucky Squire. The best sim strategy nominees are Age of Mythology Retold, Frostpunk 2, Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess, Manor Lords, and Unicorn Overlord.
The first one.
Okay. I haven't heard any of these. I don't know any of them.
The second one, the Frostpunk thing.
I'll go with the first one also.
I'm Age of Mythology, so blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, that's probably like from the Age of whatever series, right? Is that a series?
Well, there's Age of Empires and
I
don't know others. What the crap? Chris is doing gesture things.
Oh, I didn't mean to.
Did the Mac do that?
Oh, I won't do it.
I reached up to do something. Did it like detect something?
Yeah, funny. You were fidgeting with your like hoodie or something, and it saw a thumbs up and did like a cartoon bubble thumbs up.
That the other day. Yeah, that's a feature of Max. All right, here we go.
This year, these titles are nominated for Best Sports Racing: F1 24, EA Sports FC 25, NBA 2K25, Top Spin 2K25, and WWE 2K24.
Soccer one.
Wrestling.
Was one of those a racing game?
Yes.
F1.
F1.
I want to go with that.
Probably safe bet.
All right, let's take a look at our 3 esports categories. Starting with Best Esports Game. The nominees are Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends Bang Bang, and Valorant.
What do you think?
League of Legends, Bang Bang, Valorant. What were the other two?
Counter-Strike 2 and
These are Counter-Strike 2, Dota 2, League of Legends, Mobile Legends Bang Bang,
I say
and
Counter-Strike 2.
I do too.
I'm going to go with Valorant.
Valorant. The nominees for Best Esports Athlete are
You guys got any guesses? You watch esports all the time?
Optic.
Nobody watches esports.
3-3,
Definitely true.
Alexi
They are out of our budget.
Chuvi, Faker, Zywoo, and Kong Kong.
Ooh, hit and miss from Seth. All right.
I
I'm
say
going with Hong
Faker.
Kong.
I guess Faker. I don't know. I have any idea.
All right. Best team, Seth.
Canyon would have really liked my Optic comment. If he were here, he'd have dug it.
You can send him a link to the video. All right.
And for the Best Esports Team, our Special Esports Committee nominated these teams.
All right. There's a special committee for this because nobody
Special-
watches esports. So they had
Not
to find the
nobody.
3 people.
Billy Gaming, League of
Nobody
Legends.
watches Elon's
Gen
rockets
G,
launches
League
either,
of-
but there's a subset that does.
I guess.
You're just not in it.
Legends. Navi, Counter-Strike. T1, League of Legends. And Team Liquid, Dota 2.
The liquid
Team Liquid.
one.
I'll go with T1 because that's League of Legends. I just feel like that might be why.
All right, it's time for our final 2 categories. For Best Game Direction, which recognizes outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design, the nominees are Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Metaphor ReFantazio.
What do we think?
Rebirth.
Chris? Know what you're going to say.
Metaphor.
Yep. Sticking with Astrobot.
I think Astrobot's a good one too.
I think the tricky thing here is if it's the best game direction, how can it not be the best game? What is the difference?
Yeah, it's tough. I guess it may be the full package with the game. Like it has to have best music and best everything.
That's what I say. Yeah, exactly.
But isn't that part of game direction?
No, the game
I don't know.
direction's like
I thought that game direction was more like
you can have like a movie director that's really good, but the graphics, that CG in the movie's bad, right? I mean,
I don't know. That's
Everything in the game is
that
like-
brings up a good question. I don't know.
Because a game director, it's all visual effects. It's not like
no, isn't it about the play, right? Like what can happen in the game, like the twist at the
But a
end?
movie director and a video game director are different. A movie director is directing what's happening on set, and then an editor cuts it, and then I think a video game director is more active in the entire product than
A video game director manages the creative vision and production from concept to completion.
That's why I don't understand why a game, if it's directed best, wouldn't also be the best game.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. I'm just trying to make an argument.
I
about
am
why it
with
would
you,
be
Seth.
different.
I don't really understand how you can discern between the two, unless to say that someone was really good at directing the construction of a game that we did not see that part of the process. We only saw the result.
I think what this category exists for is to give somebody a make good on them not winning Game of the Year.
Yes, that would make sense.
I think this is like a silver medal.
All right, here we go. Big one.
And finally, our global TGA jury, of which I am not a member, has selected the following 6 games as nominees for Game of the Year at the Game Awards 2024. The Game of the Year nominees are Astrobot from Team Asobi, Balatro from Local Thunk, Black Myth Wukong by Game Science, Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree
This is
by
what I
From
got
Software,
DLC
Final
is up
Fantasy
for Game of the
VII Rebirth from Square Enix, and Metaphor ReFantazio from Studio Zero.
That's it.
Now, I will be biased and say I didn't play Final Fantasy or any of the other games beside Astrobot and Metaphor this year. So those would be the two I would choose between just because I know how good those games are. But I'll go with Metaphor.
I think
But
realistically, Astrobot's going to win it. So
I will say that until I played Metaphor, Astrobot was my game of the year. Because I thought it was so incredible.
I think Final Fantasy VII would be my game of the year, but I think realistically it's not going to win. I think Astrobot's going to win.
You know, one reason I think you're right on that too is because as good as that is, it's also kind of a continuation thing. Because like Rebirth is just another like release of the same thing they've been doing. And it's good, but you know what I mean? It's not like a new thing.
I think far more people have played Astrobot than have played anything else on that list. I think almost all the others are very nichey.
Yeah. There's a wide appeal to Astrobot for sure.
Yeah. Then I think Final Fantasy, I don't think Metaphor, I don't think Black Myth, I don't think what were the others? Elden Ring. I think Elden Ring might be the second probably most played on that list.
And the Balatro one just feels weird to me. I don't know anything about that game at all.
I don't either. I've heard that name over and over, but I don't even know what kind of game it is. The only thing I do know is that I think it like has some sort of like good licensing guy that gets like there's crossovers with Balatro because that's why I've seen its name. It's like Mega Man versus Balatro.
Oh, okay.
Witcher and Balatro.
I will say, even though I'm going to vote for Metaphor, I would say that if I'm wrong, the one that I think that may very well win, if I'm wrong, would be that Black Myth Wukong game.
You think if it's not Metaphor, it's going to be Wukong before Astrobot?
I think so. That Wukong game has been. I just saw so much about that when it came out. Like it was huge. And I think Astrobot's amazing, but I think a lot of people don't take it seriously enough. Like I think people are like, it's like a great game, but they're just sort of like, well, I saw a lot of videos too that are like, this is game of the year. Like they're kind of like, this might be game of the year, as if it couldn't be. You know what I mean? Like they're not really going to take it seriously enough that it could be. That's why I think it might not.
Well, I think like Reset Era couldn't shut up about it, and I know that's also one of those subset of a subset type of groups. But still, I think a bunch of 40-somethings and 50-somethings talking about video games.
Well, that's who's going to be the judges, aren't they?
I don't know. I hope not. I hope there's a wide range.
Yeah, I don't know either, but I'm going to assume they're somehow related to the industry. But I don't know. I just think that Black Myth Wukong game, like people were just raving about it on the interwebs. I don't think it looked. I thought it looked good. And here's another problem I have with Black Myth Wukong is that it's the kind of game I don't like. So it's a personal thing. I don't like those Souls type games. I don't play those.
Well, Wukong's not really Souls. Like, I mean, it's more like a hack and slash, kind of like a God of War type thing.
I thought it was. I mean,
it's difficult, like God of War is, but it's not like drop all your health potions and.
I kind of thought it was. I mean, I watched footage of someone playing part of it once, and it was just like it was just him against a big boss, and that fight took like 10 minutes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chris, your main pick is, because I'm asked for your backup pick, or I like that idea, Chris, of like if you, this is who you want to win, who you think's going to win, but who's like your backup pick, like. The thing goes against everything, and you think the backup. Who's your main? Who's your backup?
Metaphor is my main, and backup is Wukong.
Seth?
Astrobot, Final Fantasy.
I'm going Astrobot and Metaphor.
My problem with Metaphor winning, my only problem with it winning is that what Seth kind of says that not as many people played it. And it came out so late in the year that I wonder if that's going to heard it. I don't
When
know.
did Shadow of the Erd Tree come out?
Oh,
Release.
like how long is that DLC?
On the plan. Okay, now Craig, you said you had questions about that. What are the things that you?
I asked him as I went along. Some of
Okay.
those things didn't make a lot of sense to me on the categories and stuff. I think it was interesting. I'll run this through a
Zach's here. Zach just said it's about the standard length of a DLC, like a 8 to 10 hours type thing.
Yeah, he's been saying it.
And to be fair, I don't judge games on their length. I don't know how good they are. Like, I've played some amazing. Like, the one I always go back to is Portal. Like, that game is incredibly short, but how great is that game? Like, it's so good.
Oh yeah. The only time that's a tiebreaker is if there's a great game that's long and a great game that's short.
Mhm.
I'd rather, if I'm paying $60 for it one way or the other, I'd rather have 40 hours with it than 6.
Yeah.
But I would use length as a tiebreaker, not as a determining factor.
So I didn't make notes when I was thinking of this idea for this show, and I was thinking about questions, but I do remember one of the things I was thinking about. Is there a category that you guys would wish they had that's not here?
I like best soundtrack. I think that they've had
yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's
pulled.
good. Did they used to have that? Have they ever had that? Okay.
No, that
Yeah,
was
'cause-
that was one of the ones we nominated earlier.
Best soundtrack?
soundtrack.
I thought so. Yeah.
What did we
Yeah,
say?
because I remember commenting on that. I thought that the music in Astrobot was exceptional.
I don't remember that.
Remember that as a category.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong. I'm pretty sure it was.
Well, I guess now
What about-
that you guys have been spoiled, we could just Google stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I said, what were they? Was it soundtrack or score? What was the category?
Oh yeah, I don't. Wait. Oh wait, the
I
one
mean,
I
we
came
did
up with is
audio
wrong.
design, but that's
Yeah,
not the
there was
same.
like audio thing, but yeah, soundtrack would be that's a good one, Seth.
Well, then what was I talking about the music in
I don't know.
Astrobot for? I talked about like having some of the most like recognizable like earworm songs. Here, I'm
Maybe
looking
not
at the
remember.
list now.
Pretty earworm.
Oh, it's called Best Score in Music. Yeah, we did this. The
Who was in
nominees
it?
were Astrobot, Final Fantasy, Metaphor, Silent Hill, and Stellar Blade.
Hmm.
And I went with Metaphor, and I thought Astrobot would be my backup if it didn't win.
What did I pick? I don't even remember us talking about that category. Maybe Silent Hill. The original had some cool music.
Yeah.
Zach said best visual design. That's, to me, sounds a lot like the art direction.
Yeah.
Zach, would
You know,
the difference there be?
They used to have a category was like Best Technical Achievement. They don't do that anymore.
That would definitely be Wukong, I would think.
Yeah. Man, I'm super delayed. I'm watching my video and Craig's preview. I'm think like 2 seconds delayed or something.
Yeah, you freeze a lot too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
my
gotten
internet's
worse
crap.
over the video. It wasn't this way at the beginning. It's okay. No big deal. We are learning. Well, I didn't set a timer. I don't know how long we've been going here, but okay, well, I will try to figure out a way to get our predictions documented, and we'll definitely do this again afterwards to compare.
Should we live stream the broadcast or live react to the
I would love
broadcast?
to do that if you guys want to do that. I think that'd be super fun.
32.
Only if you want a lot of Doritos ads in your stream.
Wait, don't they release a restreamable version with all the copyright stuff pulled out of it so people can do?
Maybe.
I think they did that last year.
Oh, that's perfect then. So that's them saying they want people to do that.
Right.
Okay.
Well, how long?
Best
does that take?
DLC would be a good one. Yeah, that's true, Zach. Best DLC would be a good category. But then you can't also name it Game of the Year, I guess.
Yeah, right.
You can't call it a game and a sub game.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of.
Yeah, I think I was thinking of a couple categories when I was watching this, and I should have wrote them down. Like I said, this was
One-
just
Best game Craig's heard of.
Yeah. I was going to say like best puzzle game. What happened to that category? They don't do that anymore.
Guess they don't do a whole lot of puzzle games anymore, do they?
Not really, but I still think there'd probably be enough. I mean, yeah, anyway.
I agree. Well, it always end up being a Tetris game. Just they're cranking out Tetris games like crazy recently.
Have you heard about the new one that's like the one that's like all of the Tetris games in one?
Yeah.
Tetris Effect still blows me away. Like that game is so amazing. You ever try the VR mode in that?
Mm-mm.
What
pretty
is
cool.
Tetris Effect?
What was it on?
I mean, I think it's available for everything. It's on Oculus and Meta, excuse me. It's on PSVR. Yeah.
I think you played it on PSVR, didn't you?
Probably. I think I have it. I think I have it on Meta as well, though.
Zach said best voice acting, but that there is a best. They
Yeah.
did a best performance. But if you're saying just strictly voice versus voice / mocap, that's interesting.
Mhm.
I think best performance capture tech would be a cool one. Like who makes the most realistic looking humans? But then it would very much limit the type of game that you can.
Astrobot's out.
There'd only be like 2 or 3. Yeah, Astrobot's not winning that.
What about like best new video
This-
game accessory?
Oh,
Like
yeah, if you get
hardware.
into hardware
Kind
space,
of.
that'd be
Yeah,
interesting.
hardware. Yeah. Again, that feels like that's one they've done before. Maybe they had done like best hardware and it was like a console or something.
There has been consoles winning things, or controllers or something.
Mm-hmm.
I want that PS5 30th anniversary controller. I don't care about having the console, but I think that controller with the original gray coloring of the PS1 would be neat. I'm not paying scalper prices for it though.
No, I missed my chance on the Astrobot controller, I think.
I
Yeah.
saw one at Walmart.
Well, yeah, unless you want to pay eBay tax.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool to do this like for like the 80s, like the best game of the 80s, the best game of the 90s, the best game of the
Ooh.
aughts.
Yeah.
Go through that.
Hot retro
Or
games.
maybe even more specific, like platforms from the 80s, like best Amiga game, best Commodore 64
Yeah.
game, best NES game, best Genesis game. That's
I
in the
think there's some
90s,
things we
but
could
still.
go through and talk about. We got lots of content ideas. We just have to do it. So. Practice makes perfect.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll be doing more of these. So I'll post this on YouTube. The VOD will be up on Twitch. And we will see you all later. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.